Welcome back to the How to Better English podcast, the place where we help you move past textbook English and into real, authentic conversations. I am Liam.
And I am Emma. Liam, I am excited about today's topic because it hits at the core of why most people learn English, to actually talk to other people in natural, everyday situations.
Absolutely. We hear from so many listeners who are fluent on paper, they know the grammar rules. But when they step into a coffee shop or run into a friend on the street, the conversation feels stiff. They rely too heavily on phrases like, "Hello, how are you? I am fine, thank you."
Which is grammatically perfect, but it definitely gives away that you might not be a native speaker or that you learned English primarily in a formal classroom setting. Our goal today is to give you the language tools to sound relaxed, genuine, and authentic when you're just having a casual chat, or as we sometimes call it, a chit-chat.
That's right. Before we dive deep into sounding authentic, we need to take a quick moment to ask you, our dedicated listeners, to help us out.
If you find value in these discussions, please hit that subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts. Subscribing ensures you never miss a lesson, and it really helps us climb the charts so that more English learners around the world can discover us.
And while you're at it, give us a like or a 5-star rating. Share this episode with a friend, a classmate, or anyone you know who is working hard to improve their English fluency. Your support truly motivates us to keep producing these detailed lessons.
Thank you so much for those subscriptions and shares. Now, Liam, let's talk about the flow of natural conversation. When we talk about everyday English, we are generally talking about low-stakes interactions, greetings, small talk, and the way we casually wrap things up.
Exactly. Let's start at the beginning. Greetings. We need to move beyond, "How are you?" and explore the variations that we hear constantly. If I run into you at the grocery store, I probably wouldn't say, "How are you, Emma?" I would probably say something faster and more casual.
You might say, "Hey, Emma, what's up?" or "How's it going?" Notice how both of those are rhetorical questions in many situations. They aren't usually invitations to deliver a detailed medical report or a summary of your week.
That's the key distinction for our listeners. If someone says, "What's up?" a standard and casual response is often just, "Not much," or "Nothing much, you," or even just, "Good, you." We don't necessarily answer the literal question.
Let's explore a common exchange. I'll start a greeting, Liam, and let's show how brief and natural this can be.
Sounds good.
"Hey Liam, long time no see, have you been?"
Emma, wow, yeah, it has been a while. Things are great. Busy, you know? How about you? How's life treating you?
"Can't complain, just the usual grind. Good to see you."
That's a perfect example. Notice the phrases "long time no see," which is an immediate sign of familiarity and informality. Then, Liam responded with, "Things are great, busy, you know?" The use of the filler phrase, "you know," makes the response sound less scripted and more reflective.
And my response, "Can't complain," is a very common way of saying, "I am doing well." It's slightly understated, which is typical in British and American conversational culture. It avoids boasting while still confirming that life is generally positive.
So, takeaway number 1 for everyday English is embracing variation in your greetings and understanding that many casual greeting questions are simply prompts to acknowledge the other person and confirm that things are generally okay.
Moving on from the initial greeting, we often transition into small talk, which can be the most challenging part for learners because it requires flexibility and the ability to ask open-ended questions. Small talk usually revolves around neutral, safe topics.
The staples of small talk are always the weather, universally safe topic-hand plans for the immediate past or future. How was your weekend, or got any plans for the holiday?
Let's use the weather example. If it's a rainy day, instead of just saying it is raining, we use slightly more expressive language to bond over the shared experience. I might say, "Wow, this rain is really coming down, isn't it?"
And a natural response would be, "Tell me about it. I almost needed a boat just to get across the parking lot." That uses a little bit of exaggeration, a very common technique to create a shared joke or experience.
Now, let's move into the 3 specific idioms we promised to break down. These idioms are essential for sounding authentic when discussing social interactions and conversations. Catch up, shoot the breeze, and wrap up.
Let's start with catch up. This is probably one of the most common phrasal verbs related to socializing. When we say we need to catch up, what does that truly mean, Emma?
To catch up means to share all the recent news and updates since you last saw or spoke to someone. It implies bringing the other person up to speed on your life, and vice versa. It's a dedicated conversation aimed at exchanging information.
It's usually used when you haven't seen someone in a while, maybe a few weeks, months, or even years. It requires a block of time, unlike a quick greeting on the street.
If I run into an old university friend, I wouldn't say, "Let's catch up right now while we stand here in the aisle holding our shopping carts." I would schedule it. I might say, "It was great seeing you. We really need to catch up properly soon. Do you want to grab coffee next week?"
The noun form, a catch-up, is also incredibly common. I have so many catch-ups scheduled this week with old colleagues. It's used often in professional and social settings.
Let's try a longer dialogue using catch up.
Ready?
"Hey Liam, I saw your post about your trip to Asia. It looked amazing."
Oh, thanks, Emma. It really was the trip of a lifetime. I've been meaning to call you. I feel like we haven't properly caught up since Christmas.
"I know, it feels like ages ago. We should definitely block out an evening next week. I want to hear all the details, especially about the food."
Perfect. Let's schedule a proper catch-up then. Maybe Friday evening.
Friday works perfectly.
In that exchange, the phrase was used to signal the intent to have a future. Deep conversation, establishing that the current interaction was just an appetizer.
Exactly. Now, let's pivot to the second key idiom, shoot the breeze. This phrase is often used interchangeably with chit-chat, but it has a very specific, informal, and relaxed feeling.
Shooting the breeze means having a casual, unstructured conversation about unimportant things. It implies a sense of ease and relaxation, often with no real agenda.
It is distinctly American English, but widely understood. You wouldn't use this phrase in a formal business meeting. It's for relaxing on the porch, waiting for a bus, or hanging out with close friends.
The conversation is light and pleasant. You aren't catching up on serious life events. You are simply enjoying each other's company and passing the time with easy conversation.
Think about a Sunday afternoon. I might call a friend and say, "Hey, I'm feeling relaxed. Are you free to just come over and shoot the breeze for a while?"
Or if you're waiting for an event to start, you might turn to the person next to you and say, "Well, we have 10 minutes until the meeting starts. Want to shoot the breeze until then?"
This phrase helps indicate the mood of the conversation. It signals, relax, no pressure, just easy talking.
Let's contrast the two idioms in one scenario. Imagine two colleagues, Mark and Sarah, seeing each other in the break room.
Mark says, "Sarah, I know you've been busy with that huge project. We really need to find time for a proper lunch so we can catch up on everything." This implies importance and required time.
Sarah responds, "You're right. But, hey, I'm just grabbing coffee now. Do you want to stand here for 2 minutes and shoot the breeze about the football game last night?" This implies a quick low-stakes chat.
The contrast is clear. Catch up is about information exchange. Shoot the breeze is about light enjoyment and passing time.
That brings us to our third essential phrase for everyday conversations. Wrap up. This is crucial because it helps you signal the end of a conversation gracefully and naturally.
To wrap up simply means to conclude, finish, or bring something to an end. It is flexible and works in formal and informal settings, but it's invaluable socially when you need to politely exit a dialogue.
Often, people feel awkward ending a conversation, especially if they are practicing English. They might just say, "I must leave now," which sounds abrupt. Wrap up allows you to signal the transition.
If you need to leave, you can preface your departure with a transition phrase. For example, "Well, I really should wrap up this chat. I've got to run to an appointment."
Or you can use it to refer to the conversation itself. "I feel like we've covered everything we needed to. Let's wrap this up for today."
Let's show a graceful exit using this phrase.
Okay, we are in a conversation. We've been talking for about 10 minutes.
Liam, that was so interesting hearing about your new hobby. I might have to try it myself.
I hope you do. It was really fun catching up with you, Emma. But I'm looking at the time and I really need to wrap things up here or I'll be late picking up my kids.
No problem at all. Thanks for taking the time to chat. We'll talk soon.
Bye, Emma.
The use of I really need to wrap things up here is polite, clear, and provides a gentle closure to the dialogue, avoiding any sense of offense.
So, we have mastered the beginning with varied greetings, we've covered the middle with small talk, and we've nailed the ending with wrap-up. But to truly sound authentic, we need to talk about structure and speed.
That's right. Natural, everyday English is full of contractions and fillers. Learners often speak with perfect grammar, but avoid contractions, making them sound slightly robotic.
Instead of saying, I am going to the store, we say, I'm gonna go to the store. Instead of, I do not think so, we say, I don't think so. These small changes dramatically increase your perceived fluency.
The use of ganung going to and wanna want to is essential in casual speech. No one uses the full form in rapid, daily conversation unless they are deliberately emphasizing a point.
Let's practice this rapid, contracted speech. Emma, I'm going to ask you a question that requires contractions in the response.
Hit me with it.
Hey, what are you going to do this weekend?
I'm gonna stay in. I think I don't want to go out because I'm totally exhausted. What about you? Are you gonna do anything fun?
I might. I've got to go to the gym. But after that, I think I'm just gonna relax.
Notice how speaker 2 used I'm gonna, don't wanna, and are you gonna, and speaker 1 used I've gotta. This is the natural rhythm of everyday chat.
Another crucial element for authenticity is using filler words and hedges. Words like, you know, sort of, and I guess are used to give the speaker time to think, soften a statement, or connect ideas.
They sound terrible when written out formally, but they are vital for conversational flow. If you use them correctly, you sound more spontaneous and less like you are reciting a memorized sentence.
For instance, if I ask you what you think of a new movie, instead of giving an immediate, structured review, you might pause and use fillers.
Oh, that new movie? Well, I guess it was okay. I mean, the acting was great, but the plot was sort of slow in the middle, you know?
That sounds 1,000 times more real than the movie was satisfactory. The acting was excellent, but the plot progression was slow.
Learners sometimes worry that filler words make them sound uneducated, but in casual conversation, they actually signal comfort and confidence with the language's natural cadence.
Now, let's put all of this together. We're going to create a short, very natural dialogue, casual chit-chat between two friends who bump into each other unexpectedly. Using varied greetings, contractions, fillers, and maybe one of our idioms.
Perfect. I'll start.
Go for it.
Oh hey Liam, wow, small world. What's going on?
Emma, what's up? I was just heading out to grab some lunch. I didn't know you were in this area.
Yeah, I was meeting a client nearby, but I'm all done now. Man, it's been a minute since we last spoke. We really haven't had a chance to catch up properly.
I know. It feels like that big project just totally swallowed my life for a few weeks. But things are calming down now, thank goodness.
That's great to hear. Are you feeling less stressed now?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm sort of getting back into my routine, you know? What about you? How's the family?
They're great. Super busy. My daughter just started piano lessons, so that's been an adventure.
Oh, fun. That sounds like a lot of practicing time.
Tell me about it. Hey, look, I'd love to stand here and shoot the breeze all afternoon, but I actually need to get home and start dinner before my husband gets back.
Totally understandable. Well, it was fantastic seeing you. Let's actually put a date on the calendar for that catch-up next time.
Yes, I'll text you later today. Have a good one.
You too, Emma. Bye.
Let's dissect that exchange. It was about 1 minute of dialogue, but packed with natural language.
First, the initial greeting, small world, what's going on? Much better than, hello, how are you doing? And the immediate response, what's up? Which confirms the level of informality.
Then, I introduced the need for a deeper conversation. We really haven't had a chance to catch up properly.
We used hedges like sort of, and I guess so, and fillers like you know to soften the tone when talking about stress and routine.
And finally, the exit strategy. I used a warm expression of desire. I'd love to stand here and shoot the breeze, followed immediately by the polite need to depart, but I actually need to get home. This softens the necessity of wrapping up the conversation.
And that is the art of everyday English. It is less about grammatical perfection and more about conversational ease. It's about using the right tone, the right idioms, and the right speed to connect genuinely with the person you are speaking to.
We also want to remind our listeners that intonation is key here. If you are having a casual chat, your voice needs to reflect that. It should be relaxed, maybe slightly lowered in volume compared to formal presentation speech. If you ask, "How's it going?" with a monotone, serious voice, it won't sound natural.
The question, "What's up?" often has a rising intonation on the word up when you are genuinely asking, but when it's used as a quick greeting, it often stays relatively flat, just acknowledging the person, "What's up?"
Practice mimicking the sound and rhythm of the speakers you hear on television shows, movies, or in podcasts like ours. The melody of the language is just as important as the vocabulary.
To help cement these concepts, we want to go back and offer a few more quick examples for our 3 key idioms. Focusing on different contexts,
let's look at catch up again, specifically in a work context. Imagine an email or a quick Slack message.
Scenario, you missed a team meeting. The message could read, "Hey, can we schedule 10 minutes tomorrow morning? I need to catch up on what was decided in the planning session."
It implies you need the information transferred to you. You are catching up on missed knowledge.
Now, shoot the breeze in a completely different environment, perhaps a retirement home or a neighborhood park.
Old Mr. Henderson spends every morning on the bench, just shooting the breeze with anyone who walks by.
That paints a clear picture of relaxed, easy conversation without any serious objective.
And finally, wrap up in a family setting, perhaps deciding on dinner plans.
Okay, kids, we need to wrap up this discussion about dessert and figure out what we're actually making for dinner first.
It acts as a gentle command, signaling that the current, perhaps unproductive conversation needs to conclude so they can move on to the next topic.
Mastering these phrases and, more importantly, understanding the context in which to use them is what transforms standard English into everyday English into everyday English. It allows you to participate in that natural chit-chat that forms the basis of social bonding.
Remember that people appreciate authenticity. When you use contractions and phrases like "long time no see" or "can't complain," you signal to the listener that you are comfortable and confident speaking their language in an informal setting.
If you start to panic when someone throws a "what's going on" at you, just remember the default, easy responses. Not much, you, or just the usual. Keep it light, keep it brief, and keep the focus on shared experience.
And try practicing those natural conversation transitions, especially when you need to exit a conversation. Don't feel guilty about using "I need to wrap up" or "I've got to run." It is necessary and polite conversational etiquette.
This is something you can practice even when you are alone. Practice saying your greetings out loud with that casual, rapid speed. Try saying, "How's it going?" 5 times faster than you would read it on a page.
The muscle memory of your mouth has to adapt to the speed of everyday English. If you train yourself to use "gonna" and "wanna" quickly, they will start appearing naturally in your conversations.
So, as we bring today's lesson to a close, let's take a quick moment to recap our major takeaways for achieving conversational authenticity.
First, diversify your greetings, move beyond "how are you," and use phrases like "what's up" and "how's life treating you." Remember, the response is usually short and not detailed.
Second, embrace our 3 essential idioms. Catch up for scheduling a deep conversation, shoot the breeze for light, unstructured chat, and wrap up for signaling a polite conclusion to any dialogue.
And finally, prioritize conversational flow over grammatical perfection. Use contractions like "I'm gonna" and natural filler words like "you know" and "sort of" to sound spontaneous and relaxed.
Excellent summary, Emma. These techniques, once integrated, will make your English conversations feel much more enjoyable and less like a vocabulary test.
We hope this deep dive into casual English has inspired you to try some of these phrases out this week. Find a friend, find a language partner, and just try to shoot the breeze.
That's great advice. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the How to Better English podcast.
We love having you here. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember that simple call to action: subscribe, like, and share the podcast. It truly helps us reach more students like you.
You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. We appreciate your dedication to improving your English.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep trying to sound a little more authentic every day.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.